I mean, it's been quite some time since we did some comparisons on the channel. So today, I got myself two legendary cameras, and as you guys can see here, I got the Canon 7D, and right in my hands, I also got the Canon 6D Mark 1. These are both the original one, the first generation. So let's get straight into the intro, guys. I think this is the third time or second time I'm actually owning the 7D. When it comes to the 6D, it's been on and off in my hands, but I think currently I got it permanently and I've actually done my hands through it. I've actually used it. These cameras are kind of similar. They are very similar when it comes to some of the features on the camera, but in some ways as well, they kind of differ. So the first thing that I'm going to tap on will have to be the megapixel. Well, this one right here is a 20 megapixel. And this also right here is a 20.2 megapixel. Let's just say 20 megapixel. The Canon 6D is a full frame camera and the 7D is a crop sensor camera. We do get different sensors here. You guys do know that. I mean, when it comes to photography, full frame always seems to hold up very well compared to the crop sensor camera. With my test, I think the 6D does perform better when it comes to photography and maybe videography as well, simply because with the full frame you do get more lights, and yeah, you actually get better performance when it comes to low light and all that. They both use EF lenses, and that is very nice because currently Canon do not produce EF lenses again, but trust me, there are a lot of EF lenses in the market. There are a whole bunch of them in the market. So the 6D right here, I'm having the 17 to 40 L lens on it, and you can actually use the same lens on this particular one as well, which should give you, similar results. They are very much similar. But here's the thing, since my test, or since my usage of these two cameras, initially I was actually more interested in the 7D as a B cam, as a backup camera, but I think when I got my hands on the 6D, my mindset have actually changed, simply because the 7D is actually heavier. I didn't actually know about this. So the 7D got, I think, a heavier weight compared to the 6D. When you hold both of them in your hands, you can actually feel the weight. Well, this one even got a lens on it, and I think it's much lighter compared to the 7D. I'm not sure why that is the case, because the full frame was supposed to be heavier than the crop sensor, but in this case it's the other way around. It's not gonna be a big deal for someone who does more of it. It's actually similar. Another thing that you guys might have issues with will have to be the fact that this cameras does not have articulating screen, and I think that is one of the major thing that might pull a lot of videographers or vloggers away. The newer models, the newer cameras, the mirrorless and all that are still coming in the market these days, most of them are having articulating screen, and this will actually help someone who wants to be vlogging, someone who wants to shoot this type of videos. These days it's just best you see yourself. You always need to see yourself whatever you are doing. You don't want to be buying extra accessories like monitors and all that. It's just crazy. So this particular camera, they are quite old. The 6D was released, I think, in 2012, and they also do not use a dual slot. In some way, it might be a problem to some people, but some people might also find it as an advantage. But I think the most important thing is the 7D uses the CF card, which is a bit stronger compared to the normal SD card. So the 7D might have the edge here. I think I do have the card here. Yeah, so this is the card that the 7D uses. It's kind of bigger than the normal one. The 6D's version. With the 6D, it uses the regular one, which is this one. Well, with this particular one, they don't seem to hold up. It all depends on how you use it anyway. So I think for better performance and durability, the 7D got the edge here. To get straight to the point, or to summarize everything, maybe you are watching this video and you'll be like, okay, but Vim, all what you are saying, we do know it. A lot of people have been saying this. There's a bunch of videos on this channel that talks about specifications and all that. I do understand, and if that annoys you, I'm very sorry. But honestly, with the experiences that I've had with both cameras, I would say that if you are someone that handles street photography, studio photography, then I think the 6D might do a better job compared to the 7D, because the 6D is a full frame camera. I think that's the only edge that it got here. But if you are someone that normally handles wildlife and maybe sports, then I think the 7D would do a better job. They are both a capable camera, and I think it all depends on what type of photography that you do. Once again, if you are someone that normally deal with portrait, you own a studio and you need, you are starting up as a photographer, the 6D is going to do an amazing job, as long as you know the right lenses, the right lights, and to pair with it, you should be good to go. Another problem that I noticed from both cameras will have to be the fact that the autofocus sucks. Yeah, the autofocus is there. In photography mode, it does function okay, especially with the 6D. It does okay. Both of them do have autofocus in photography mode, but the downside is once you switch to videography, you lose the autofocus ability. I think that is something that Canon have been doing way back, especially with their old cameras and all that. I don't know why that is the case, but that it is what it is. Once you change into videography mode, the autofocus does not work. But in photography mode, it works, but it's not the best. That is something that you always need to know. I was kind of curious because initially I was thinking Canon cameras reserve their single digits for their pro cameras, like 5D, that is a pro full frame camera. But here is the case that this is a 7D and it's a crop sensor camera. And this is also a single digit, which is 6D, and it's a full frame camera. So I'm not sure how they were operating back then, but I'm kind of confused because initially I thought their single digit is for their full frame pro cameras. Like we're talking about the 5D, 6D, 7D, which is this one. But this is actually 7D, which got the pro body, but a crop sensor camera. So I think they were trying to make a cheaper option from the other ones, which is, even though the 6D is not that expensive currently, but I don't know why they actually switch in making this a crop sensor anyway. But I think they kind of got a very similar specifications. Video specs, they both goes up to 1080. I think it shoots full HD from 24 frames, and you also get 30 frames as well. You do not get any slow-mo capabilities. If you want to go shoot slow-mo, then I think you'll have to go down to 720. I stand to be corrected. I just need to double check. I'm not sure. But their video resolutions are not that great. I think it would be more suitable for someone who shoots this type of videos. As long as you got some extra money to get yourself additional monitors and all that, then you should be good to go. But when it comes to videography as well, I would say that the 6D is much better, because here with the 7D, I've actually used this camera for a couple of YouTube videos like this, and most of the time, majority, let me say 89% of the time, the camera overheats. Yeah, it's just, I don't know why it does that, but the 7D, anytime you shoot video with it for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes going, it just heats up. I don't know why that is the case, but this with videography, I would say rather get the 6D. So with the 6D, it is okay, capable. It's a good videographic camera, not the best, but it's a good videographic camera. When it comes to photos, it can also do the job. And with the 7D, when it comes to photos, it's got the edge, especially with wildlife, sports, landscape. You should be fine. But when it comes to videography, you may have to think twice about it. They're kind of similar once again. I think the major difference will have to be the fact that this is a full frame and this is a crop sensor camera. So I think that will help you to decide whether you need the 7D or the 6D in today's standard. But yeah, once again, this is my conclusion about the Canon 6D and the Canon 7D. Drop it in the comment section if you do have any questions with regards to these two cameras. In case there is something that I did not mention and you would like to ask, drop it in the comment section. I'm more than willing to answer all your questions. I should be selling it. I think once I drop the video, I will be selling them. So if you're ever interested, if you're in South Africa, if you're in Ghana, let me know. Prices should be very reasonable. I'm not sure yet, but I think I'll figure it out and I'll let you know. So yeah, Thank you guys for coming. Do not forget to hit on the subscribe button, like this video as well, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.